Okay. So tonight is going to be a great night. We did this last night. It was our first experience sharing 3 different weight loss testimonies. It's just one aspect of Zija that we all love, but welcome. I'm Elisa Bragga. I'm in Cookeville, Tennessee, and I'm here to just host this and introduce the people that are going to be sharing with you tonight. If you are on here, there's 2 ways that you can mute your line. If you're doing it from a computer, there's a little button on the left, and if you're doing it from your phone, tap your phone and you'll see you'll have the ability to mute your line. And you can also start and stop your video. So if you want to be on camera, you can be. I love to see your faces. It's great. Or you can turn your camera off. But if you don't know what Zija is leading the natural health revolution. And what they do is provide truly natural products that naturally nourish, restore, and condition. And what that means is these products help you with your nutrition. They help reduce toxins in your life. And they help you get moving. They help with the active lifestyle. Most of the people that you will see tonight are people that share this all the time. And the reason that they've gotten to do that is because they've had a great experience themselves with the products. And because of that, they've become very passionate about helping others. So tonight you're going to hear 3 of their stories, and we're going to get right to it. So Kristen, I see you on here. Kristen is in the Memphis, Tennessee area. Kristen, if you're on, go ahead and share your story with people.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, welcome. It's Kristen Taylor, y'all.
I like your y'all. Oh, yes. Well, I'm Kristen Taylor. Thank you, Elisa, for letting me share my story. My story is not, my weight loss story is not one of a whole lot of weight, but I think just in talking with other women over the years, over the past 6 years that we've been involved with Zija, I believe that my story is similar to other moms, other ladies' stories. But at the time I was introduced, and we've been involved for 6 years, started in February of 2011. And at the time I was introduced, I was 35 years old, mom, 2 kids. I was homeschooling both children. I was leading a mom's Bible study, leading a Sunday school class with my husband. I was tired. I could sleep for hours and never feel rested. And I was extremely hateful. I share that a lot because, you know, I never realized I could be so hateful and angry until I just didn't feel good. And I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good. I was an athlete all through high school and all through college. And so I loved to exercise, and I got to the point to where I just couldn't. And I knew that probably it was because I had 2 knee reconstructive surgeries. And so therefore I had severe pain in my knees all the time. And so when I was introduced by my parents, and within 4 days, the products that I was using was Smart Mix, which that was all that was available at the time, was the Smart Mix and the Smart Drink. So I was using the Smart Mix and the old formula of the XM3 and the Premium Tea. And within 4 days, I knew that I had gotten a hold of something really phenomenal, something different. And I knew that because my husband walked up behind me one night in the kitchen, and he just said, "You're different." And I turned around and I said, "What do you mean by that?" And he said, "You're different. I don't know what's happening, but you're different." And so I began to continue to take the products. We got our whole family, both our children were on the Smart Mix as well. All the knee pain that I'd been experiencing was gone, headaches gone. I just had an overall good feeling. And I only wanted to lose about 10 pounds. It was just 10 pounds that just stayed on me since having children. And I ended up losing 18 pounds. And since then, I have had another baby. So we have a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And so I got pregnant at 39 and delivered our 3rd child, Joseph. And I lost all that baby weight very quickly and have continued just to maintain. I continue to use Smart Mix, Super Mix, XM Plus, whatever I have available every day. I will never be without that nutritional And at almost 42, I feel better than I have felt in a very long time. Energy back, I sleep great. I feel like I'm aging backwards. So that is my story. Are there any questions?
Kristen, that was awesome, and I can totally relate to you. We are almost the same age, and we got started almost at the same time, and I have a very similar experience. And so I know that your story is going to inspire people, and you lost 18 pounds, and you've maintained that, right, this whole time?
I have maintained that weight loss, yes. Of course, I gained weight when I got pregnant with Joseph, but I gained very minimal amount of weight and then lost it very quickly. Which was shocking because I only used the super mix because I was breastfeeding. So I didn't use any of the premium tea or any weight loss capsule. It was only super mix. And I lost that weight really quick and was back into my normal clothes. And then I've just continued to maintain. So it's been a great experience.
Did you use super mix throughout your pregnancy too?
Yes. And that is another thing I highly, highly recommend. I have a lot of people that ask, did you ask your doctor? Did you tell your doctor? And I told him, and I just said, this is what I'm going to use as my prenatal. He looked it over and he said, this looks like a great product. Continue to do it. And he was fascinated that at my age, I was able to deliver and was back to my regular self within just a couple hours.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you for I love this technology because I literally, we just walked in the door from the ball game and get on here and share these stories. And it's easy to do. And you guys are all over the country. And I'm just grateful for you getting on here and sharing. I know some people are going to be inspired. And we're recording.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Next up, we have the one and only Chip Buck, and I know he's on here ready to go. So, Chip, are you here? Will you tell us about your weight loss story?
Absolutely, Elisa. I'm glad to talk about Zija. Love talking about Zija. Kristen will know more than anybody. I didn't come to this as somebody that wanted to lose weight. I came to this as somebody that had to lose weight. I didn't come to the product because I wanted to join a network marketing company. That was the last thing I wanted to do. I came here specifically to shut my wife up from talking about these products. She took the products for about 2 months, lost about 30, 35 pounds, felt better, was wanting to wear a bikini again. That made me excited, but I didn't believe in this hocus pocus miracle juice. So I only took the products. I gave her 3 months. I told her, I'll take them for 3 months and prove to you that they don't work. Because I needed to lose weight. And to date, I've lost about 112 pounds. I weighed myself this morning. I'm wearing a shirt now that I bought that you could fit 2 of me in it now. This is when I first started with Zija, when Larissa got in, she bought me shirts and all kinds of stuff, and I'm feeling better. I started having all these amazing results from coming off different medications and those kinds of things, but I didn't lose a pound at all for the first 9 weeks that I took the products. And I only continued to take the product because I'd made my wife the deal that I would take them for 90 days. So once I started losing weight, my wife said I had to clear out all the expletive out of my body before I could start losing weight. But once I started, it's like the pounds just melted off, and they kept coming off. And more importantly than them coming off is that they've stayed off. I had a lady today at a B&I meeting, Lisa, you're very familiar with the lady, that hadn't seen me in about 2 years. And she said, how in the world are you maintaining your weight loss? Is it the Zija stuff? And she even spelled it wrong when she was writing a note to me. Yes, it's the Zija stuff. I haven't changed my routine at all. I continue to take the Smart Mix, Super Mix XM Plus. I'm back on when we first got started, like Kristen just said, all we had was Smart Mix, so that's what I took. When XM Plus came along, I needed a little boost of energy, so I love that. Now I'm back to taking just a Smart Mix. I like the way it makes me feel. We take the XM3 capsule, which is basically, to me, it makes me feel exactly the same as the original formulation of XM3, so I love taking that. And then I detox regularly. That's the key. The tea is the key for weight loss, and that's what's worked for me. For a long time there, I tea'd every night. I would tea every night for the first probably 3 months or so of taking Zija, because we got the tea anyway, might as well use it. And now I've cut that back to about 2 times a week. The protein shakes, I've added those. If you're looking for additional weight loss, the protein shakes are a great meal replacement. I say if you're a power lifter, something like that, or an athlete or those kinds of things, they're a protein shake. If you're a fat guy like me, they're a meal replacement shake. Whichever way it works for you, that's the way I like to use them. But I love the Zija products and would never, ever, ever think about not using them.
That's awesome, Chip. You have one of the best weight loss stories I've heard within Zija, but there's lots of people who've lost over 100 pounds within this company. And what you said, one thing.
Absolutely. We had at convention last year, I think there were like 35 that got on stage that had lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you said there's versatility in our products too, because you said the shake, for some people it works for building muscle, but for you it helps you lose weight as a meal replacement. And so now you started off as a big skeptic, y'all. Okay, so look behind him. I know this isn't an accident that's there. He had no intention of doing anything but proving things wrong. Made a pretty good business out of this and one of the top leaders in our company. And you can see his earnings up there on the wall within Zija, which is also a pretty amazing testimony. But I know that your health is invaluable. For sure. All right, well, we're going to get on to our third testimony, and I'm really excited about this one too. Up next is Vicki Blazier. She's in Michigan. She is a fantastic person. As far as spreading the wellness message, she's one of the best in our entire company. So Vicki, go ahead and share your story.
Thank you, Elisa. I have been with Zija for 2.5 years, or just over 2.5 years, and I actually came to Zija via the oils, the amino oils. That's a separate story altogether, and a good story, but a separate story altogether. But the day that we were listening to the opportunity and the presentation about Zija, which I didn't even know what Zija meant, I stared at the table with the oils the whole time, but luckily I have my husband with me, and he listened to the presentation about, hi Larissa, he listened to the presentation about the Zija products. And we went home as founders for a mayo, buying a big kit of oils. But as soon as we got home, we both had taken samples actually from Elisa's mom and stepdad, and we took them for a couple of days and realized we wanted to try the nutritional products as well. And we haven't stopped since. And when I say we, I mean myself, my daughter, who's 11, and my husband. I had a lot of history of health problems going all the way back to when I was 16. And I've been married 27 years. We just celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary. And we have an 11-year-old child. We weren't able to have kids for the first 16 years of our marriage. And I went through a lot of fertility things. I went through a lot of prescriptions and just couldn't conceive. So we moved to Michigan, and I actually ended up working for a company, or actually in a temple, and doing some marketing for them. And I was getting very, very sick. And they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. My entire system was shutting down. I was having paralyzation go through my body. I was inflamed. I had severe asthma. I had allergies to everything, 4+, if you are familiar with allergies, so everything environmental. And I was on 12 prescriptions a day. Through that time, I had gained about 60 pounds from the time when I first met Alan, and didn't fluctuate, not even 5 pounds, ever. I stayed at that weight. Didn't matter what I did. I didn't really overeat. I didn't eat great, because at that point in my life, I didn't really understand food and how you should nourish your body. I grew up in Colorado, a small farm, so all the food I grew up with, I knew where it came from. So it was very wholesome and clean in comparison to what's out there now. So fast forward a little bit, and I ended up, they determined that I was being exposed to a toxic mold, and that was what was making me so sick. I got to the point to where I just made some decisions personally, and I weaned myself off of all the prescription drugs. And my body changed so drastically just from that extreme change that hormonally it shifted me just long enough to suddenly, I was pregnant for the first time in my life, and I was blessed with our daughter, Grace. I immediately gained weight again and didn't fluctuate, and it didn't matter what I did. So when I first started taking the nutrition, I was no longer on any prescription drugs or anything like that, any over-the-counter drugs, because I used essential oils for restoration and immune support, things like that. But the nutrition didn't immediately make me lose weight. That's what's so interesting about Zija. It had other things that I needed. I needed my hormones to be balanced. I needed my body to be balanced. And it took about 9 months, but I could distinctly tell the difference. And when, and Elisa and I had several conversations throughout this time, you know, because it was kind of like, wow, why am I not really losing weight? What's going on? What different things can we try? And we kept at it because I love the nutrition. I will never be without the nutrition. In late September of this year at conference, they released 2 products. They released the XM3, yay, which is another stimulant. It's a weight loss aid, kind of like the XM Burn, the XMAM. And they also released the plant protein. And for whatever reason, with my body, every day I take Super Mix. About twice a week, I'll do an additional Smart Mix for the prebiotic. I've always supplemented with the Trim and Tone oil, using it internally 4 drops a day. And then when the AGX metabolism came out, I started adding 1 drop of that. And I could feel a difference in my metabolism, and I could kind of feel a difference in even my body shifting a little bit, but the weight didn't necessarily stop or start. But as soon as I started taking the XM3, so I do my Super Mix first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, I take an XM3. I eat usually an egg, a really good egg that's pasture free range, a whole separate conversation. And then I will usually cook that egg in real fat, so butter. And then I try and do coconut oil in my diet as well. But I then, in the middle of the day, I take a plant protein. I use the plant protein, and I mix this with water. And a lot of times I will put like a drop of peppermint in the Dutch chocolate, or I'll do cinnamon in the vanilla. But I am very satiated just from that until dinner time. I force myself to take maybe a handful of nuts or something throughout the course of the day. And then I eat my body wants a sensible meal, which I eat. And then every 3 days I do the premium tea. And from all of that, since late September, I've actually lost 36 pounds. And I can tell that I've gained lean muscle, and I think that's because of the plant protein. So I probably have realistically lost more than 36 pounds, but my body is just changing and muscle is heavier. So as the other 2 people have said, they'll never go without the nutrition. Our family will never go without the nutrition, but I'm very thankful and very blessed that my body is being nourished, and with the added bonus of the plant protein and the XM3 that I'm actually losing weight and feeling better. I'm going to be 48 in July, and I feel better than I did when I was in my 30s. So that's nice.
Wow, you look amazing. Hey, and I haven't seen you in person in a while. I can tell the difference.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I really wanted you to share your story, because a lot of times people do get an immediate result with our products, but not always. And you were someone who was very patient because you knew the value of what you were putting in your body. And I think it's important for people to know that just because they don't get an instant result doesn't mean that it's not working. And look at now. I mean, that is awesome. I love your story. And you add so much value to this team. Before everybody hops off, I want to show a couple before and afters. So bear with me. Vicki, since you're not muted, let me know if you can see this. Can you see this? Can you guys give me like a verbal, you can see this? Okay, hold on.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
I had muted myself, sorry.
Okay. Let me go back to it, because sometimes I'll go back to it. because these are great. Okay, this is Kristen. You heard from her first. She's a dear person. Look at this, a great before and after. And she's kind of like me. She didn't really have a lot to lose, but what she lost made a difference for her. And she was stuck like me. I totally get that feeling. This right here is Chip Buck. Listen, like he lost my child. This is an amazing, amazing testimony. So these products work and they do it naturally. So if you are on this and you are considering these products, they're a great thing to do. And this is just one aspect of our company. Weight loss is just one thing that we're featuring tonight. So we are going to also show you right now, just for the next week, this is a way that people can get started with the products and get a sampling of most of all of the products that you heard tonight. We talked about Supermix, plant protein, XM Burn, the XM3 capsules, and the Detox Tea. It's a great trial of the weight management system. It also enrolls you. It's about $100 value, this package. And I want to make sure also that we are going to do one more of this on Saturday with 3 more stories coming up. And you're not going to want to hear this. Actually, this one's going to include 4 because that husband and wife pair in the middle have a tremendous weight management stories. So let's see. Okay, y'all can see me now? Okay, so I just want to say if someone has invited you to this, please get back with them so you can talk with them about how you can get started on these products. This is a great time to be part of Zija, the second wave, which means the company is getting ready to double and triple within the next few months, is really happening and we're all part of it. We're so excited to be sharing these with you because they've made a difference for us and you can see. So you guys have a great night. Any questions, you can type them in the side and we'll have another one of these on Saturday. Good night.